Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California. The Atlanta Falcons go against the San Francisco 49ers on an absolutely perfect Sunday afternoon. Hello, everyone. I'm Don Crickey. This is the Baltimore Cold All-Pro Tom Matty. And the Atlanta Falcons are indeed one of the big stories in the National Football League this year. How good are they? Everybody knows they're vastly improved. They'll get a big test today. This is a better football team than the record.
You're right. It is. Defensively, they've played great ball to date. 19 points have been scored on them. Offensively, they're starting to move the ball, scoring points. It's going to be a good ball game, Don.
San Francisco's due. The 49ers are 0-3. Played better than that last week at Los Angeles, but made mistakes. The thing that the Falcons have not done, and that is why they are 2-1 and almost 3-0. They could have beaten Washington. Now let's go down to the field where they're ready to tee it up and kick it off. The San Francisco 49ers have won the toss, and they'll be receiving to start the game. And there is the breakdown of the officiating staff. Jerry Mark-Bright is our referee today. It is absolutely a splendid day. Temperature about 70 degrees. Cloudless skies, and there is the man a lot of people are talking about. Lehman Bennett, the 39-year-old head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. 9 years an assistant in professional football. And in this, his first season, he's taken a team that one alleged expert called the worst team in pro football and made it a very much a contender in the NFC West. Mickemeyer into the football, hits it down deep. Going down to get the ball is Bob Farrell, now picked up by an up-back and fumbled. And finally, Paul Hoffer picks up the ball, and it's knocked down at about the 20-yard line. And there, San Francisco 49ers go on offense, 1st and 10. There are the offensive linemen for the 49ers, the people who will be pass blocking for Jim Plunkett. He's going to be throwing more today, says his coach, Kenny Myers. The guys who'll be going to Gene Washington. I think Lash is a last-minute scratch, and they're probably going to go with Rick Jennings or Kenny Harrison. We'll see as they break the huddle. Right now, they're going with Jennings and Gene Washington. Actually, they have 2 tight ends in to open the game. 2 tight ends. Paul Seals in as a tight end to the right. Mitchell to the left. Handoff goes to Delvin Williams. He turns upfield and gets the ball out close.
Holding on to him right there. That's an old trick of mine. Pushing him in the right direction. Try to get him. Good solid tackle by the linebacker. Good yardage.
It is 2nd down and 2. Woody Peoples, number 69, a guard out of Grambling, a veteran player for the 49ers, had the key block. It is now a 2-yard distance between the first down line for the 49ers. Pitch back again to Williams. Good block by the fullback, Wilbur Jackson, out of Alabama, but the Falcons come up to shut down the run. Coming down to make the play was Mike Lewis, number 69.
Coming out of the end zone here, Don, you'll see how the Falcons close up that hole. That linebacker flows over there. Good tackling. Not much yardage there.
Brasino is also on the stop. Murrow, Lewis, Bailey, and Humphrey across the defensive front of the Falcons. Brasino, Ortega, Kuykendall back the line. 3rd down and 1 now. End up goes to Del Williams, and it looks like the Falcons might have stopped it short. They had to advance the ball out to the 31-yard line. And the Falcons, with a former Colt, a teammate of yours, Tom Matty, Jim Bailey, closing down, made the hit.
Big Jim Bailey. I had a chance to talk to him before the ball game, and he said the key thing that Atlanta has done this year is there's a change in their attitude. They're positive. They have a positive attitude about winning, and this guy was, you know, he's been with some pretty good ball clubs. He was with us in the Super Bowls, a couple of Super Bowls.
There's Tom Whittam, who is a dual role man this year for the 49ers. He punts and he tries placements. And the kicking game has not been as good as Whittam usually is so far. That has been one of the 49er problems. It's 4th and less than a yard. Back very deep for the Falcons is Roland Lawrence. Whittam hits the ball not too deep. Lawrence is going to let it hit. Now he picks it up. And the special teams are down to cover very nicely for the San Francisco 49ers.
This is one of the places where they had a lot of trouble in the last couple of weeks with their special teams, and I know in talking with the coach from the 49ers, they spent a lot of extra work this week working on those special teams to get this kind of a field position, getting them back in the hole.
Dave Williams was down to make the hit number 30 on the special teams, and the Falcons have the ball for the first time. Talking to Lehman Bennett just before the kickoff, He told us our philosophy is very simple. We want to keep those chains moving. The yard markers keep running up the first downs and controlling the football. Hunter hands off. It's going to be a short gain as Jimmy Webb, a tackle out of Mississippi State, closed down the run on the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons advancing the ball out close to the 27-yard line. Second down coming now.
The rushing game of Atlanta has been just starting to come around right now. And defensively, this is probably the best defensive front four in football today. They haven't done anything yet this year.
Not yet. Wallace Francis and Alfred Jenkins are wide as, again, the Falcons go to the straight-ahead run and don't get much as the two tackles, Jimmy Webb and Cleveland Elam, close down. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the San Francisco 49ers and the National Football League is prohibited. It is 3rd down and 5 now. Throwing down for Scott Hunter, who has performed extremely well, hitting over 54% of his throws. They go to the run. Turning the corner is Monroe Ely, and he dives ahead, but not for enough. Dave Washington, the outside linebacker on the right side. Number 50 made the stop for the 49ers, and the Falcons will punt for the first time.
Don, it looked like there was a little mix-up in the backfield back there that time, and the back was supposed to probably go up the inside of the hole and just broke to the outside.
There is John James in to punt now for the Atlanta Falcons. He's averaging almost 43 yards a punt. His longest of the season, 56 yards. Back deep is a second-year cornerback, Tony Leonard, the return for the San Francisco 49ers. Leonard is positioned just inside his 25. We have no score in the first quarter. James getting off a very high punt. Excellent punt as the coverage comes down. Leading the way is Moriarty. Free football. Moriarty, number 45, had 10 lengths lead on everybody else coming down after the football. And it was very nearly Atlanta's ball.
You can see he's having a problem with that sunlight, too, and he also gets...
There's a problem.
That's a big problem. Well, I'll tell you, when they start bearing down on you, this is a great play coming in here. This is what these offensive and defensive linemen know what to do. There's a penalty on the play, and I think it was offsides or one of the ends was moving, wasn't settled on the punt, Don.
Yeah, somebody might have left early, so they're stepping off 5 yards against the Falcons as we get the call.
Illegal motion, number 45, the kicking team, 4th down.
So that's how Moriarty got down there so fast. He left early.
You got to cheat any way you can, I'll tell you.
It's only cheating if you get caught, right?
That's right.
Like holding.
We'll see a little bit of that today, too.
49ers, you're talking about that defensive front of theirs, and they do have some great people in there. Cedric Hardman, Tommy Hart. This club was 8-6 a year ago. 0-3, and they only were 1-5 in the preseason. James hits it again, gets off another high punt. This one doesn't carry too deep. Again, Leonard has problems with it. It takes a Falcon hop. It's going to roll inside the 20 and down at the 19-yard line.
You know, with those kind of punts, it's a wise decision just to back up because you're looking right back up into that sunlight, and it's really hard to do it.
Dewey McClain was down the ball, so we have a pause in the action with no score on the board.
Just as soon as me and my 8 friends here finish up and get this wagon home.
When do you say Budweiser? Whenever the moment is right for a great beer. After the work is done, while you're still having fun, the king of beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, Budweiser, you said it all.
Inside this new Firestone radial tire is an improved steel cord with 5 million miles of developmental testing. Where once we used 5 strands, we now use 10 strands of steel. 7 around 2, wrapped by 1. A cord construction so important, Firestone named the tire for it. 7, 2, 1. The new steel-belted radial 721. Now, from Firestone.
Johnny Cash is your host for the 11th Annual Country Music Awards, live from the Grand Ole Opry, tomorrow night at 9:30, 8:30 Central and Mountain.
This is Don Criqui with Tom Matty back at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, where the Falcons and the 49ers have no points up yet. We have 10:34 to play in the first quarter. The 49ers with their second possession of the game. Their quarterback is Jim Plunkett, the former Heisman Trophy winner from nearby Stanford. Wilbur Jackson and Dell Williams is running back. Williams, a 1,200-yard rusher a season ago, gets the call again, and Kuykendall hits him very hard. Fulton Kuykendall, who is playing really excellent football for the Falcons this year, starting at the right side out of UCLA.
Don, the thing that, in talking with Tom Mitchell, a tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, one of the main problems that they've had is the defenses that Atlanta throws against them. They're coming in with all kinds of blitzes, safety blitz, linebackers inside, outside, all around. They really present problems to the 49ers.
See the scores coming in from the East. The Eagles and the Jets winning their second games of the season. Now even the records at 2-2. Here is Wilbur Jackson, who averaged over 7 yards a carry. Look at that hit by Kuykendall.
Boy.
That's a full shot.
That's what you call getting hit.
Goodness.
Here's the handoff by Jim Plunkett. He's coming around, turning the corner, and watch the linebacker come in here. Lower his shoulder, get his head in front of him, and really nail him. Oh, boy. He's going to feel that one tomorrow.
Captain Cuckoo, they call him.
Cuckoo.
It is 3rd down and 5 now for the 49ers. The ball is at their 25-yard line. No score in the first quarter. The Falcons, who've given up just 19 points in 3 games. Penalty marker goes down as Plunkett puts up a timing pattern. Rollin Lawrence intercepts and takes it into the end zone, but there is a penalty marker down.
I think it's all in vain. It's got to be offsides. Atlanta.
You saw those Falcon defensive linemen jumping a little bit early. Now, whether or not they were drawn off.
Here they are, jumping right across the line. The flag goes up in the air.
Wilson Famuina, the rookie out of San Jose State, left a little early. And so a brilliant play by Rollin Lawrence is negated. And the first 6 points are no longer on the board. They're up very briefly.
And it also gives San Francisco their first down.
Offside, number 74, defense, first down.
So Famuina with offside, and the play comes back, and the 49ers do get the first down. In the first 3 games this season, the Falcons were able to control the football on all 3 opponents, the Rams, the Redskins, and the Giants. And that's what the 49ers have been unable to do. They've been, their defensive unit's been out there too much. Rollin Lawrence comes up and makes a hard chopping tackle on Dell Williams, who gets an awful lot of work for the 49ers.
Dell Williams, he had a lot of yardage last year. You know, he's the kind of back that can break that play anytime, but whenever a guy comes up and chops your legs out like that, he also lost the ball, too. You got to hold on to that thing no matter when you're going down. That official doesn't know. Let's go!
Last season, the Falcons allowed 22 points a game. They were 22nd of the 28 teams in the NFL in defense against scoring. This year, they're tied for first with the Denver Broncos, only 19 points. Plunkett looking to throw on 2nd and long. And the big guy from San Jose State, along with Jeff Mara. Famuina, Mara, and Yates were all on the play.
Here's the games coming inside. The back tries to pick him up. He's supposed to be middle. Looked like it was going to be a middle screen to number 40 right there, Jackson. But they just let him in too. They opened the gate too quick, Don.
Now across the defensive front, we have Claude Humphrey, Famuina, and Mara. They go with a 3-man defensive front. Brazina comes up tight on the right side. 3rd down and 14 for the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, Williams tries to cut back. Looked like he lost his footing and tripped over his own tight end, Tom Mitchell. And impatient fans here at Candlestick start to chorus.
Here's the handoff to Dell Williams. He's going to cut inside. He's got both of the guards leading out in front, and he slips on that turf. No place to go but down. San Francisco's playing that conservative game again, and the crowd is reacting. And I think they'd like to see him open up with some type of offense here.
Now we have Tom Whittam back in punt formation, standing back inside his 15-yard line. Hits the ball at the 17. It is not a good punt. Rylan Lawrence at the 37. Gets one block. Now is hemmed in, and Lawrence will be knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Atlanta Falcons. One of the great anthology shows on sports in television is the CBS Sports Spectacular. You'll see it next Saturday afternoon at 4:30 Eastern Time. And again, a series of great events. The Jockey Club Gold Cup, live coverage of the 59th running of this $300,000 race for top thoroughbreds. You'll see some of the world's greatest gymnastics competitions. People like Nellie Kim and Nadia Comaneci. And also the world's strongest men competition. The CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday. The pitch by Scott Hunter is right on the money for a 1st down. As Wallace Francis comes over the middle and takes the ball at the 48-yard line of San Francisco. Tom.
Hunter drilled that in. It was a down and in pattern, and it was perfectly timed. Hunter laid the ball right in his hands in front there. It was a good catch. That's what they've got to do. Atlanta's got to come up with that 1st down passing. Really keeps that front four honest.
So the Falcons get their first big gainer. There is no score. In the first quarter, here is a handoff, and the 49ers knock down Haskell Stenback very quickly. Willie Harper, a Nebraska linebacker, knocked him down. Let's watch how he did it.
There's the blitz coming to the inside. Both linebackers are breaking right up the middle. The tackles are taking an outside charge, opening up the middle for the linebackers to come on. You know, there's only one center in and to block both of them. Good play. Good
Second
call
down
by
and
the
12 now. Excuse me, Tom. Second down and 12. Alfred Jenkins, who is tied for the NFL lead in receptions with 11 coming into this game, and the NFC is wide to the right. Wallace Francis is wide to the left. Pitch back goes to Haskell Stenback, a 215-pound fullback from Tennessee, and the 49ers shut him down for no gain. Might even have lost another yard. Mel Phillips, one of the safeties, came up to make the hit, along with Bruce Taylor, 2 veteran defensive backfield players for San Francisco. There is the head coach of the 49ers, Ken Meyer. He and Lehman Bennett were together with the Rams for 4 years. Meyer was the offensive coordinator. And there is Lehman Bennett, the youngest coach right now in the NFL at 39. It is 3rd down and 12 now.
He's changed a lot of things around over there in Atlanta. He's got things going for him.
Guy Hunter drops to throw. A big rush against him. Hunter puts it up on the run and just gets it over the outstretched hands of 2 San Francisco defenders. And so now the Falcons will punt the ball back, and James will be angling for the corner.
Again, here's the same thing that Atlanta has been doing, coming with the blitz. And here comes those linebackers putting on that pressure, and Scott Hunter is really lucky to get away with this. That's a smart quarterback, threw it right out of bounds.
Hunter is one of 2 starting NFL quarterbacks without an interception this season. Greg Landry of Detroit is the other. He might have been picked off today, though, at Minnesota. Tough game for the Lions. Oh, everybody left early. Let's see what this is. Well, John James didn't want to be around the football, but it does draw a crowd of 49ers. Let's see what this is. 49ers get the ball here. They all left early, but they could have been drawn offside. When that many guys come early, it might have been motion.
The whole looked like the whole left side of the line on Atlanta just fell back. I think there's going to be another kick again, just with a 5-yard penalty.
The Falcons would very gladly accept that.
I would too if I were them. You know, James, his first punt of today, that before was a 52-yarder, which is not bad. He hung that thing up. The hang time on his ball is really great.
That's coming back. We have 4 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Defense. Illegal kicking on the kicking team. Offset. 4th down.
They'll do it over again. 4th and 12.
Looked like James was trying to play a little game of soccer out there. Look at that. That's the illegal kick, was right there. James didn't want to have anything to do with it. I don't blame him.
Now he'll try again. Paul Rysick, 53, as you get a very good look at it from the end zone, is the punt snapper. He also snaps on placements for the Falcons. John James ready to hit it. Tony Leonard is again back for the 49ers. Gets it away, and Leonard's just going to let it hop. Oh, it's going to take a Falcon bounce. It is downed inside the 10 by Ray Easterling. Ray Easterling comes down to down the ball, and so the 49ers go on offense for a third time, but they have a problem now as they're backed up in their own area. With 4:45 to play in the first quarter, there is still no score on the board.
Introducing the Ford in your future, the new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. At 33 miles per gallon highway, 23 city, Fairmont has the highest mileage ratings in its class. Yet it has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars. And base sticker prices for the Fairmont line start at just $35.89. Fairmont, roomy but with mileage like a small car, and the lowest sticker price in its class. Test drive Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
Dawn launch, Sea of Japan. The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, the $300,000 Jockey Club Gold Cup. You'll see the Chunichi Cup. Highlight some world competition in gymnastics from Japan, and also the world's strongest men competition.
I saw part of that trying to bend those steel bars yesterday.
Right.
I'm glad I wasn't in it.
Gene Washington is wide to the right now for San Francisco. The give is to Wilbur Jackson, and again the Falcons quickly close down the run. The middle linebacker, Ralph Ortega, shot the gap, and then Brazina came over from the right side and knocked him down.
I was talking to Tommy Nobis on the field earlier, and he said Brazina is having a great year this year at linebacker. He's really doing a fantastic job. He's the leader out there. He's the guy that really puts that linebacking core together.
Second down and 8 now for the 49ers. Long count and a handoff to Delvin Williams, and the Falcons again keeping those defensive ends tight. In the past, Humphrey used to come with that wide rush and give up a lot of yards to the run, but he's playing a lot tighter now and playing the run better than he ever has.
They sure are. The defense is Atlanta's defense is just not giving up the yardage. They're only giving up something less than 200 yards per game total offense. Williams isn't having the greatest day rushing today either. He's 7 carries for 18 yards.
Third down coming up for Plunkett and the 49ers. Here comes the rush. Plunkett gets it away. Wilbur Jackson was the intended receiver, as Plunkett did very well just to release the ball, but very, very close to an interception was the middle linebacker, Ralph Ortega.
That pressure's
Jeff Mara was in there.
That pressure's being put on by Atlanta. They're really in. The thing that you can see here with Plunkett setting up, you can see the defensive lineman coming in. The pressure's being put on. He pumps. You can't do that very often without getting your arm taken off, and he just gets rid of that ball.
Jim Bailey was also coming in now. Billy Rickman is back deep for the Atlanta Falcons along with Ronald Lawrence. 2 men back as Whittam, the punter, is in his end zone. Moriarty was coming hard. Whittam got off a good one. Drives Lawrence back to the 41, but now he's got some room. Here's the penalty marker down. Looks like we're going to have a clip against the Falcons. There's a surprising score from the Astrodome in Houston. The Pittsburgh Steelers trailing the Oilers right now, 17-10.
In that game, Bradshaw has been injured, and he's gone to the hospital.
Wow.
I think it's his ribs, and they don't know whether he's going to be back in or not. That could really hurt Pittsburgh's chances.
The latest report we got, Tom, was it's his wrist that's been injured. Bradshaw injured a wrist, so I guess
Personal
Kruzek
foul,
would be in there.
clipping number 80 on the run back. First down.
Carl Farmer was clipping on the block.
Whittam got a good punt off that time, a 46-yarder.
So we have no score on the board here in the first quarter. 3:20 to play in it. Scott Hunter directing the Falcon offense. Monroe, Ely, and Haskell Stenbeck are his setbacks. Second back through is Stenbeck. As he gets some good room coming back to the weak side, the left side, with Brent Adams and Dave Scott leading the blocking. Nell Phillips, one of the safeties, made the tackle, but there's a good gain on the play out to the 36-yard line.
Mel is the old senior pro back there. He's got 12 years in the NFL. He knows how to come up and play that run.
There is Warren Bryant, number 66. Number 1 draft choice from Kentucky. A man who's won all 3 of his matchups so far with some very good defensive ends.
And I'll tell you, he did a pretty good job on that play. Here's a shot of him. Here's a rookie for you who's got a lot of power. Their number 1 choice, a top offensive lineman in the country last year, and he's going against one of the best, Tommy Hart, right there. Drives him right back, and he still plays almost over. Hart's still fighting him, but they both go down. That's his job, and he did a good one right there.
You got 2 men fighting each other there, Hart and Warren Bryant.
Big men.
Bryant 6'6", 270. Hunter with a good play fake. He has Alfred Jenkins open. The little lad lips it inside the 40 and down to the 38. An exciting football player, Alfred Jenkins.
Here's that play fake that holds that defensive line and linebackers. Boom, it's what we used to call the old Max pattern. Just a down and in. It was named after Max McGee from the old Green Bay Packers. That's what he was famous for, that down and in pattern. Picks up good yardage. Here's Miami-Baltimore score. My old team down there, they've come back. They were behind most of the ball game. They're now winning 31-28.
They were behind 28-10 at one point. Now they've come back to take a 31-28 lead. Stand-back runs hard behind Bryant. And another outstanding rookie, the right guard, R.C. Thielman from Arkansas, number 68, who is the strongest player on the Falcons team. Eddie LeBaron said, Willie, when you assess our draft, what we got when we picked Thielman, we got the quality of a top number 1. It is 2nd down and 6 now. Falcons advancing the ball. Their deepest penetration so far inside the 35-yard line of San Francisco. And again, the Falcons go to the power run as Monroe Ely, a big 220-pound fullback out of Arizona State, played in the Canadian Football League, takes it right up the middle, and that's going to bring up 3rd and short yardage now as he advanced the ball down close to the 31. Dave Washington was on the stop, along with Cleveland Elam. Tommy Nobis, who spent 11 seasons as the Falcons middle linebacker before his retirement this year, said he's never seen an attitude like there is in this Falcon team now.
Well, that's what you got to have.
Stand back. Coming out on the counter play. Slanting across very hard. Gets inside the 30. He had to advance the ball inside the 29. And we'll see where they spot the ball as Washington leads Tampa Bay 10-3. They're playing in Florida. That's in the first quarter. Mike Thomas just ran it in from 6 yards out.
Atlanta must feel that they can really run on San Francisco. You know, San Francisco's the gold rush, as they're known as, their front 4, has been noted for their outside pass rush, so I figure that they're trying to run inside the tackles to get it. They got the first down.
So as Lehman Bennett terms it, keep those chains moving.
That's right. It's interesting. Atlanta has had the ball control, which they've never had before in their life. They had 227 plays to the opposition having 177 plays. So that's what you do call ball control. They eat up that clock.
71-54, their advantage over Los Angeles. 81-62 over Washington. Those are 2 pretty good football teams. Stand back has the hole closed. The 49ers were shooting their linebackers into the gaps, really coming with almost a 7-man front there, looking for the run.
There's been a correction in that score in Washington, Tampa. It's 10-0 Washington.
Cedric Harden was the first guy to make the tackle as the first quarter comes to an end now. That is the gun. And so after the first 15 minutes of play, nothing is on the board yet, but the Falcons are starting to mount a challenge. It is San Francisco nothing, Atlanta nothing. So we come back in a moment. The Falcons will be going on offense. They'll have the ball 2nd down and 10.
Should have bought Mobile One. The oil saves you gas, you know.
Should have bought Mobile One. Helps you start at 35 below.
Should have bought Mobile One. Engine temperature hits 500. You're cool.
Should have bought Mobile One. You only change it every 15,000 miles.
Mobile One, the oil that does it all. Take it from an expert.
Panasonic invites you to take a picture of a voice with a Panasonic cassette tape recorder.
Things was a lot different than it is now.
All with built-in mics. Some with built-in radios. There are pocket models.
Should last another 50 years.
And even some that record in stereo.
Say something. Come on, speak something.
So take a picture of a voice with Panasonic.
Say something, bark.
With Tom Addy, this is Don Criqui back at Candlestick Park on an absolutely perfect day in the Bay Area. Temperature in the low 70s, cloudless skies, as the Falcons have the ball now at the 29-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. It's second down and 11 as Scott Hunter sends men wide to either side, and Francis and Jenkins. Hunter takes a look at Jenkins, gets it away, and here's a man open. Haskell stand back, bobbles the ball and loses it. As Willie Harper, the linebacker who was covering him, taking the first back out, hand fought him and finally stripped him of the football.
Here's Hunter setting up. Colin Single setting up, getting a lot of pressure inside. They got a tackle game. He gets hit just as he... This is the old halfback option pass. He's got to hold on to that thing. It's a linebacker coverage where a back goes out and makes his own move. There was a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to be a holding penalty.
Here is the call.
Holding, 68, offense, second down.
Thielman, the right guard, called for a hold. They've got two rookies starting on the right side of the Atlanta offensive line, Warren Bryant and R.C. Thielman. That's the side they've been getting most of their running yardage over.
There was a big break for San Francisco on that play. Gets them right in, almost out of field goal position.
Second down and 21 for Scott Hunter and the Falcons. No score in the second quarter. Hunter with a long count. Now the penalty marker goes down as the play is whistled dead. Illegal procedure against Atlanta, so it's going to be 26 yards to go for the first down.
Atlanta has now had 5 penalties for 40 yards. That'll hurt any ball club. These are the mistakes that you can't have, and this is what their coach was talking about.
Ball start, 68, offense, second down.
They're back there right now where it's second and long. You don't even like to say what kind of yardage it is. This is
second and forever.
This is a great opportunity now, to either call that screen pass or a draw, set it up, see if you can get something inside.
Go to the power sweep. Standback is pretty well closed off as he gets the ball down to the 40. And that'll bring up third and long yardage for the Falcons, so they'll probably be putting it in the air, looking to at least get in field goal range today. If they should not be able to get the first down, which is percentage-wise unlikely.
That great lateral movement that the 49er defensive line has and linebackers is the thing that cuts that play off.
Lehman Bennett pacing the sidelines now, having his team hit with 4 penalties here in the first half that set them back. Here comes the big 49er rush. Hunter gets away and slapped down.
And he's slapped down. Woo!
Cleveland Elam, number 72 out of Tennessee State. As his teammate Hardman says, this man is a hoss.
Here comes that blitz again from San Francisco. Scott Hunter setting up. There's the inside blitz, number 59 coming in. And here comes Cleveland right up and through. And when you get a big man like that hitting you, all you want to do is lay down. And he does.
So now John James is in to punt again, standing back at his 44-yard line. And Tony Leonard is back deep for the 49ers. A well-hit ball by John James will carry inside the 10, and let's see, is it going to... Oh, my word, it goes out of bounds on the 2-yard line.
San Francisco needs a lot of rain out here, but it's not raining in the way of rain, and everything goes against them.
Inside this new Firestone radial tire is an improved steel cord with 5 million miles of developmental testing. Where once we used 5 strands, we now use 10 strands of steel. 7 around 2, wrapped by 1. A cord construction so important, Firestone named the tire for it. 7, 2, 1. The new steel-belted radial 721. Now, from Firestone.
drive on the 50-yard line!
Hey, Charlie, it was cold last night. You put in a Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone? You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone. We need Prestone.
Prestone. You need Prestone.
Now Mondays are out of this world on CBS as Logan's Run moves to a new time. Logan's Run with all the impact of Star Wars. Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central Time. They're on CBS. First and 10 for the 49ers, but they've got a big problem. They're at their 2-yard line. No score in the second quarter. Plunkett throws, hits Wilbur Jackson, and right in position to make a tackle. At the 6-yard line is the left side cornerback, Robin Lawrence, who is a little bit shaken up, putting the slug on a big guy like Wilbur Jackson.
If Plunkett would have saw Tom Mitchell, he was right in, about 5 yards up farther. He could have caught that ball and turned that corner and got it up there. That's a good call there down there in that line. You got him out of that position. San Francisco only has 1 first down this first half already, while Atlanta has 4.
Second down and 6 now. Plunkett's going long count. He gives to Wilbur Jackson, and the 49ers chop him. The Falcons knock him down to the 10-yard line. Coming across on the play was Kuykendall. Jeff Merrill was on the play. He's really playing good football. A third-year defensive end from West Virginia. The Colts and the Dolphins, it looks like a track meet.
I'll tell you one thing, that's John Unitas' day, too. They're retiring his number today.
In the third quarter, that score. Now they're moving into the fourth quarter. Miami was leading that game 28-10 and now trails 38-28. Third down and 2 for the 49ers. Big down for the Falcon defense, too, as here's a pitch back. Delvin Williams is cut down. He had to get the ball out across the 12-yard line and did not. So the Falcons are going to get the ball back now, presuming there is a punt by the 49ers in good field position.
Here's a great end zone shot with Plunkett pitching out. Del Williams has the opportunity here to do anything he wants. It's a good block by the halfback. He cuts back to the inside, but that hole is filled up.
Terrific play again by Jeff Merrill.
This Atlanta team is really doing, I don't know, they don't have a nickname for that front four yet. I was going to call them the Peachtree Gang.
Well, Claude Humphrey says we'll pass on the nicknames till after the season.
That's right.
Whittam in his end zone to punt the ball for the 49ers. Big rush. He gets it away. It's a line drive. It'll come back at San Francisco. Ronald Lawrence with the ball inside the 40 and knocked down with a hard hit at the 37-yard line. Making the play for San Francisco was Dale Mitchell, a linebacker from Southern California. So now the Falcons get the ball with good field position. Still no points are up. They'll be challenging. 11:45 in the first half.
Schlitz wants you to have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word.
Hey, now's the time to pick up plenty of Schlitz.
Pass the word, pass the word, pass the word.
Because the Schlitz football offer is here. Look for this display at participating stores and save up to $5 on an official Wilson football. Come on.
Pick up Schlitz and have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word, pass the Schlitz.
In stage 1 of my life, I couldn't stand dull wheels. I'm the same in stage 2 with my new 78 Ford LTD2, the trimmer sportier LTD at a trimmer price, the LTD of mid-size cars. If you're a sporty guy who appreciates the finer things in life, welcome to stage 2.
Isn't it you in an LTD2? You'll never know till you try.
Welcome to LTD2.
A better idea from Ford.
Will you take off your clothes?
What?
You heard her.
They're TV's freshest new comedy team, On Our Own, premiering tonight following Rhoda.
I used to be a nice girl.
We are back at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. 11:45 to play in the first half. No score. The Falcons in white have the ball at the 36-yard line of San Francisco. Scott Hunter, the quarterback for the Falcons. Here's a blitz. But Monroe Ely broke the gap. Willie Harper came on a stunt from the outside linebacker position, and Hunter barely got the handoff made, but Ely broke it up.
I'll tell you one thing, that was perfect timing on that blitz.
Wasn't it? No, not quite perfect.
He didn't. Hunter got it off, but look how he came in there. Watch. He's just so quick. He gets that ball off. He does pick up good yardage. It's a 2nd down and 3 yards to go.
Yeah, Hunter and Ely did very well to elude a fumble on that play. It's 2nd down and 4 now. Falcons coming right at the San Francisco 49ers. Vanderbunt, the middle linebacker, 52, came across to make the tackle. He's had some problems stopping the run. They've been running right at Vanderbunt in the 49ers' first 3 games. 49ers opened at Pittsburgh, lost 27-0. Then were beaten here at Candlestick by Miami 19-14. Lost last week at Los Angeles 34-14.
They were in that game all the way. All the way last week.
3rd and 3. Big down now for the Falcons as we still have no points up. 2nd quarter. Haskell stand back running hard. Gets the ball down close to the 26-yard line, and that's where he had to go. He'll be very close to a 1st down.
That's good hard running. He knifed right through there. He had to get that 3 yards.
San Diego on an 88-yard punt return by Mike Fuller in the 1st quarter. And a 5-yard run by Ricky Young in the 4th quarter out in front of New Orleans, 14-0.
That's a surprise team this year to me.
Yeah,
I think they're really coming on strong.
They've got a lot of personnel. Johnny Rodgers down there now.
This is a big down for Atlanta. They get this 1st down. They got that momentum going for them. It's close, a couple inches.
Jim Mitchell, the tight end, signals over. Inches away.
They're going to go for it. All right.
Bill McKinley comes in as a tackle, alternating in with plays. St. Louis and Dallas tied 3-3 in the 1st quarter. Efren Herrera and Jim Backenwitz field goals.
Backen's been around a few years.
Hasn't he? 4th and inches. 2 tight ends in the game. Handoff goes to Stanback.
I don't know if he got it.
Going to be awful tight.
Here's a handoff.
He didn't get it from where they have it right now.
I don't think so. Here's Scott Hunter handing off. It's just a power play right to the side there. The hole is filled by those linebackers and the defensive backs. That's where you like to see. Defensive back come up, plug that hole up. I don't think they got it.
Ralph McGill, 49. Well, they had the ball spotted. Now they don't have it. San Francisco takes over the ball.
They come up with that big defensive play.
Big defensive play.
You know, somebody needs a shot in the arm to get this thing going, to get a little excitement out of it. And I think this might be the turning point to get that momentum going one way or the other. And I think San Francisco has it right now.
Gene Washington comes out wide to the right. Kenny Harrison, a 2nd-year wide receiver from SMU, is wide to the left. 1st down and 10 for San Francisco. The 49ers have beaten the Atlanta Falcons 13 times in their previous meetings. Atlanta's won 8. Last year, when the Falcons were playing that up and down football, they beat the 49ers late in the season. It might have been one of the losses that was the key in knocking the 49ers out of the playoff competition. 49ers closed weekly last year. People forget they have 2 and 5. Here's a break and run. Paul Hoffer from Ole Miss cuts it up the middle. A quick trap block, open it up.
Coming out of the end zone, you'll see how the back has the option of making his cut here. All the flow is going to the right. He cuts back up to the inside, makes a great move stepping over the tackler there and gets good yardage. 1st down, looks like. There goes that momentum again.
This is unbelievable.
Good old Don McCauley, one of my proteges, by the way, Don, just scored on a 1-yard run, and that puts up Baltimore 45-28. You know, I mentioned earlier about John Unitas Day, and I'll guarantee you those fans down there went crazy because they really appreciated that guy.
They retired his jersey today.
Yeah. I wish I could have been there, but I'm glad I'm here today.
So far, we haven't had too much happen here. Lots of defense. Plunkett throws a home run ball. Bias is defending, and Bias tips it away at the last moment. Kenny Harrison, a sprinter from SMU, whose brother is a cornerback on the Buffalo Bills, Dwight Harrison. Wow.
Here's just good position by the defensive back. In fact, he could have had this ball and brought it in himself. You know, it's a good time to call that. Second and short yardage like that, they figure you might as well go for the bomb.
Jim Turner with 2 field goals and Craig Morton with a 7-yard run, and Denver's out in front, going for its 4th win of the season. Jim Plunkett calls his own number on short yardage, and he gets it.
That's right, Jim. You know, he's a pretty big boy. That quarterback sneak is a play that, that is not used that much anymore in football. And when you have an opportunity, because the tackles are usually taking an outside charge that stop that short trap or the long trap, and it opens up that middle, and that middle guard has to fill it.
So now the 49ers, with no score on the board in the second quarter, have it 1st and 10 at their 39-yard line. Second back through, man.
That
looked like you run into a wall. Actually, it was Jim Bailey who made the hard hit head on.
Big Jim Bailey.
Now the Cardinals have gone in front of the Cowboys in the first quarter. Metcalf on a 62-yard run.
You know, there's a couple of exciting runners around this league. One of them is this little Terry Metcalf. The other guy is Peyton. I did a Chicago game. He got 150-some yards that day. They're both small little guys. They say the small man can't make it, but these guys disprove that theory.
And there's so many small wide receivers, like Jenkins on Atlanta, the 3 they have at Miami. Hoffer running very hard. Turns out Claude Humphrey hits him. Then Ortega comes across, but there is yardage on the play for the 49ers. They advance the ball up to their 45-yard line. Ray Brown finally came up to knock him down.
You know, this is a situation here where it's a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 yard. This is where that quarterback usually likes to hit that halfback coming out of the backfield, which is an option pass, they call it.
3rd down and 4. Wide to the left is Gene Washington. Wide to the right is that flyer, Kenny Harrison. Go to the draw play. And running hard is Bob Farrell, a UCLA fullback. And he gets the 1st down at midfield.
This is that old fake the draw, baby. Come right on up. Good block by number 71. The back makes a great cut to the outside, puts his head down and gets that 1st down. Got to keep those legs moving.
Ray Brown, the strong safety, finally knocked him down along with Kuykendall. But the 49ers are now starting to move the football. 1st and 10 at the 50. Jim Plunkett takes a look deep. Now he's got to hurry. He dips it off. Hoffer turns the corner, and he is ahead out to the 45-yard line, and there's a penalty marker down. Gene Washington might have clipped coming back to block on a Falcon. Ortega and Lawrence made the tackle, but there's a penalty marker down. It's coming back.
Here's Plunkett. He gets the pressure from Jim Bailey, steps up and just dumps it off. Now maybe you can see Gene Washington coming right in here, and the clip, number 18, getting him. It was a good call by the official. I don't think he really hurt him too much on the clip, but you just can't get him from that backside. That's 15 big yards.
Very, very close. Twice the Falcons have been to sacking Jim
Personal
Plunkett.
foul, clipping on the offense. 1st down.
Jim Plunkett, you may recall, came out of Stanford as the Heisman Trophy winner in what the scouts call the year of the quarterback. New England had the worst record. They selected Plunkett number 1. Then New Orleans took Archie Manning. And then Houston took Dan Pastorini, the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals then. Paul Brown said, I got the best one. He picked in the 3rd round and took Ken Anderson. Statistically, he's been right, but Anderson played with a lot more personnel.
Great move.
Isn't it? On a 21-yard goal. 1st and 21. They advanced the ball out to the 45. It's still going to be long yardage as Kuykendall again filled and made the stop for Atlanta. 6:40 to play in the first half. No score on the board.
That was a great move by the back there. He saw the hole was plugged, did a reverse spin out. You know, you practice that when you go to training camp. I never see too many guys using that reverse spin out, but he got the yardage.
Apparently, Tom, that loss of Bradshaw has affected the Steelers as they're way down to Houston. 2nd and 15 now. Plunkett takes a look. He's got time. Now the rush gets him. He's behind. Gene Washington has the ball and is down to the 33-yard line. Plunkett is down. Jim Plunkett is down. He took a tremendous shot as Mara was coming, and so was Claude Humphrey.
That was a 23-yard pass.
Plunkett is flat on his back. Brilliant reception by Gene Washington, who's made a ton of them for the 49ers, over 300 in his career. Now in his 9th year from Stanford. Plunkett took a hard shot right in the ribs just as he released the ball. He's just been getting the ball away when he's been throwing. The backup quarterback is a second-year man from Arkansas. Plunkett is coming out, and Scott Bull is going into the game now for the 49ers.
Mr. Highboom.
Huh?
Mr. Highboom.
Yes?
Yeah, look, we understand that you're taking a trip with us tomorrow.
Trip?
Yeah, well, we want you to know that Avis is working right now.
Avis?
It's vacuuming your car, checking the oil, brakes, even the air in the spare tire.
Spare tire.
One of the ways Avis tries harder is working at night, so you're ready in the morning. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's a Chrysler Cordoba, and it's blue. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
We try hard, Avis, we don't know another way.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere. It can save you money. Your attic. You need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass supplier to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
The 49ers just got a 23-yard gain of it. They lost their quarterback if but for the moment, and there is Scott Bull in to replace the shaken-up Jim Plunkett. Bull at 6'5", puts it up. Almost picked off. Fulton Kuykendall and Ralph Ortega, the two linebackers dropping back in zone coverage, both had a play on the football.
Here's a quarterback setting up. This is a gutty call coming in on the first down. Right here.
It's coming in cold, too.
Coming in cold. Trying to hit Tom Mitchell right over the middle. Linebackers are right there. It could have been an interception very easy and stopped this 49er drive, but good defense. Here's another view of it. Quarterback setting up, stepping up into the pocket. Great defensive coverage.
Jim Plunkett is up and throwing time. We look down the sideline, seeing there. He's pitching the ball pretty hard, so apparently he's going to be all right and go back in shortly.
I think he might have got his wind knocked out of him on that one with that shot in the ribs.
There's a blitz. Penalty markers down as Hoffer, who really comes out of the three-point as quick as any back around, leaps over the top, but there is a marker down.
Again, this is what Atlanta has been doing all year. It's the blitz. Pizzini coming in right there. Timing it perfect. The back makes a great adjustment and gets it by him. Picks up 5 yards, but they're offside on it. He's second down again now.
Oh, the mark-off is against Atlanta. Down to the 27-yard line.
Offside, 75, defense, second down.
There's Jim Plunkett looking out. He was just throwing the football. He is expected to return to the game. It was a hard blow to the ribs he took when completing that 23-yard gainer. So the 49ers are now starting to mount their first challenge of the game. There's no score in the second quarter. Again, they go to the rush, and Hoffer runs very hard. Second back through right up the middle. And he gets the ball down inside the 25-yard line. Randy Cross is the 49ers center. He's blocking right out on Ortega, the middle linebacker for the Falcons.
They're coming in with their short yardage offense right now. They're going to go for it. I figure they got a couple downs here to get that first down and keep this thing going. They got to get that momentum going for them right now. They got to get that first down and keep it going.
There is the final. The Bengals beat the Packers 17-7 at Milwaukee. Cincinnati having its problems. Third down and 2 now for San Francisco. Scott Bull pitches back. Bob runs free football. It goes out of bounds before the Falcons can gain possession, so it's still the 49ers ball, and it was fumbled ahead for a first down.
Here it is again. Watch the key block. Here's a quick pitch to the left. The key block is by Tom Mitchell right here. He gets the position on the man. There's the ball's knocked out, and it's free. Anybody? And it just bounces out, and San Fran comes up with a first down.
Ray Easterling stripped the ball.
Stripped that ball right out of there. You know, it's funny. It's just like in baseball. When the football hits this turf, that thing just takes off.
Falcons actually looked like they didn't see it right away. They might have gotten possession, but it was fumbled ahead for a first down. 1st and 10 for San Francisco. 21-yard line of Atlanta. Yep. Play is whistled dead, and penalty markers are down.
Too much time.
I was hurt. The 1st and 15 now from the 26.
These are the kind of mistakes, Don, that you just can't make when you get down in, down by the 20-yard line down here. Anything inside the 30, that's a golden opportunity to score.
Delay, number 19, offense, 1st down again.
Called it on the quarterback. Didn't get it in play enough. That's what they work on, a 30-second clock. When the official starts that up between plays, they have 30 seconds to get the snap off. So it's 1st and 15 now for the San Francisco 49ers, 26-yard line of Atlanta. No score in the 2nd quarter. Handoff. And again, they go to the power run as Bob Farrell, a 210-pound back, hits off the left side. Hoffer led the blocking. The ball is down inside the 25.
Tom Mitchell just came in with a play. I'm surprised that they haven't put Plunkett back in.
Maybe they want to see if they can run the ball and give him as much rest as they go into the halftime. Then Plunkett was throwing all right, but you don't know how much pain he was in. 2nd down and 12 now for the 49ers. 23-yard line of Atlanta. Penalty marker down. Free football. Farmawina picks it up. Wilson Farmawina with a cordon of blockers around him. Now he hands off to Robin Lawrence, who sprints the distance, but it might come back.
It's coming back.
That's 2 now they've had called back. 2 defensive touchdowns by the Falcons in the first half have been called back.
I tell you, that's got to break your heart. 2 silly offsides.
There it is. That breaks a lot of hearts, that yellow flag.
I tell you, sometimes it's saving them. Just think how San Francisco feels about it. Awful good.
Let's watch that play again.
That ball's bouncing around here. It's an off-tackle play. That running game, they're staying with it. Bounces up. He's stripped again. These guys got to start handling. Now, here's a smart lineman. He didn't want all the glory. He passes it off to somebody who can sprint.
Defense, 2nd.
He just takes off.
The guy can sprint. That's twice Rylan Lawrence has been in the end zone, and twice they've called it back on him. You recall early in the 1st quarter, he picked off a Jim Plunkett screen pass out in the flat, ran it in, but it came back on an offside against the Falcons. And now on the fumble recovery by Wilson Farmawina, a big rookie from San Jose State who grew up here in San Francisco after moving from American Samoa at the age of 5. But it comes back, and now it's going to be 2nd down and 7 for the 49ers as they have the ball at the 18-yard line of Atlanta. Not only did they get the touchdown negated, but they also picked up 5 penalty yards.
I'll tell you, that's 7 penalties this half already for 50 yards.
And Myers saying, hey, you got cards are coming up right for me here so far.
So far, so good.
Dockfull is still the quarterback. Good defense by the Falcons. Farrell had the ball and was knocked down. Merrow was the first man through 75, grabbed him, slowed him up. And then Kuykendall finished him off along with Ralph Ortega. That is the first half time. 2nd quarter clock winding down to 3:45. Down at the Astrodome in Houston, the Oilers way out in front of the Steelers 27-10 as Fritz has just kicked the field goal for Houston. And now, what's this we have?
Oh, Pastorini, that great young quarterback, I think he is anyway. He suspected that he might have broken his ankle in the game.
Bradshaw, the Steeler quarterback, went out and went to a hospital with a wrist injury. Here's a blitz.
Oh, boy!
Ray Easter, what a football play. Well, that's how you draw it on the board when you have the X's and O's. This is just how it's supposed to work. It doesn't always. That was about as hard a hit. Watch this. Easterling's coming all out in a blitz. 32. He isn't picked up. Farrell is.
Oh my goodness! I'll tell you one thing. You don't like to see that happen.
It's like getting hit with a 190-pound. Take over the ball there, and they start to boo in San Francisco. But again, we point out, and as everybody who's been watching is certainly aware, the Falcons defense has scored 2 touchdowns that have been called back in this game. It's still scoreless.
Here it is. Whittam just picks that ball up. He's trying to get it, do anything. He'd like to pass it right now. The best thing he could do is just hold on to it. 40 yards.
He'd like to be in Philadelphia right now.
I tell you, that breaks your heart.
Well, the ball is set back to the 40 now, and the Falcons take it over. So the scoring opportunity of San Francisco is Long gone, and again, the Falcons have pretty good field position with time becoming a factor in the second quarter. 2:37 to play in it. First and 10. Scott Hunter, play faking, looking long, puts it up. Alfred Jenkins is out there. And Alfred Jenkins almost got to the football. Ralph McGill cut him down. The official ruled he did it right on time as the ball came overhead. It's not a penalty.
That's a gutty call right here.
Isn't it? Here we have the defense beaten.
He did.
Scott Hunter, of course, was out of football last year, ran for public office down in Mobile, Alabama. Ted Plum, the quarterback coach of the Falcons, thinks that it really helped his arm the year off. He's had arm problems ever since his senior year at Alabama when he suffered a severe shoulder injury.
He's throwing the ball well. That was a good throw. Just a little long, got to shorten up on it. That's it. He had the defensive back beat.
Hunter, a good thinking quarterback. He has a master's degree in finance. It is 2nd and 10 now for the Falcons in a scoreless game late in the second quarter. Hunter looks, penalty markers down as Wallace Francis comes back at the ball like an Oakland Raider. Makes the reception at the 28, but again we have a penalty marker down. And the indication would be holding, and that's what it is.
Boy, I'll tell you, they get the first down, they're inside the 30-yard line. It's just what they need to keep the game going. They had the momentum turned around with the snap over the head, and now they get this penalty.
The way we're going at the moment, nobody might win this one.
I'll tell you that.
There it is.
Holding, 70, offense, 2nd down.
Dave Scott, the left guard, calls for holding. Now the Cowboys and the Cardinals are tied up, 10-10.
Tony Dorsett, wow, on a 77-yard run, tied that score up.
Cowboys just got $7 million worth. 2nd and 20 for Hunter and the Falcon offense. Draw play. Monroe Ely runs it across midfield and down close to the 46-yard line. As the second quarter clock winds down close to the 2-minute warning. 2:15 and running to play, and no score still on the board.
You know, during that drive with the 49ers the last time, they ate up the clock for 7 minutes and 44 seconds, and that's what you call ball control.
That was probably their best possession of the season. They've had a lot of difficulty with their defense being out there too much. Now we're going to have the 2-minute warning given to both sides as there is no score on the board here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
Now try and forget the 10th largest life insurance company in America, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
Hello, everybody. This is Lowell Thomas. Alaska. Tough on people, tough on auto parts. So we took Motorcraft heavy-duty batteries, oil filters, and tune-up parts to Alaska, testing them in 50 GM, Chrysler, and Ford cars and trucks. After 6 months of Alaskan pipeline country, less than 1% of the parts couldn't take the punishment. No matter what you drive, wherever you drive, ask for Motorcraft auto parts from Ford. Tested tough in Alaska. So long.
At Candlestick Park in San Francisco, this is Don Crickey with Tom Natty. We have no score, as you see, on the board with 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Both teams on one sustained drive have moved the ball well, but unable to get up points. The 49ers had a 7-minute possession, took it down with a bad snap on a field goal attempt, cost them possession of the ball. And now the Falcons have been set back by penalties. If they had a challenge mounted, it's 3rd and 17 at the 47-yard line of San Francisco. Scott Hunter takes a look and very wisely eats the ball as the 49ers close down on him. Cleveland Elam, number 72, is the first guy through.
He's been back there a couple times now. The gold rush may be coming back. They need to get back in it. Last year they led the league in sacks.
Right.
This year they've just been stymied. They haven't had it.
They've forced just one turnover in the first 3 games this season. The 49ers have. That's the fewest in the NFL. They haven't gotten that big defensive effort. Now we're going to have a punt by John James, who's hit some beauties, including one that he knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line of San Francisco. Reisig getting ready for the snap. Leonard Thompson is back for San Francisco again. James hits it very well and angles it. Leonard Thompson, almost he stepped out of bounds at the 9-yard line. So again, John James does his job so very well. And Leonard Thompson stepped out of bounds, just right in the white line. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time, the CBS Sports Spectacular, a trio of great events to watch. The $300,000 thoroughbred event from New York, Jockey Club Gold Cup Racing. Taped at Tokyo, Japan, the Chunichi Cup Gymnastics Competition featuring gold medalist Nellie Kim and Nadia Comaneci, and the World's Strongest Men Competition. That's next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time, the CBS Sports Spectacular. I think they'll be pitching here now.
2 minutes to go, I would hope so.
They go to Farrell on the run, and he is hit by Rick Bias. That's pretty much textbook tackling. Got the clean lick at him.
Got the first down. They're keeping Plunkett out of the ball game.
And they're letting the clock run. Apparently they're going to be content to go in with a scoreless tie at the half. Gene Washington comes out wide to the left. Way out wide to the right is Kenny Hipperson. The tight end is Tom Mitchell. Jim Plunkett was shaken up. Has not played since early in the second quarter. The throw by Scott Bull is good to the tight end Mitchell. Their old teammate got it, but his momentum took him out of bounds at the 31, which is just as well. It stops the clock with 38 seconds.
That was my old roommate too. Here, let me tell you, he's one heck of a good tight end. He's had to beat out a few guys. A good move. You can see perfect camera coverage right here. Mitchell breaking to the outside. The quarterback laying it right over top of that linebacker. And that's his job. Get out of bounds. Stop that clock. They can keep this thing moving and get down in field goal position yet. There's a lot of time left.
He's from Bucknell. There's not too many guys in the league from Bucknell. First and 10. They go to the draw play. Hoffer threw a good block, and running well with the ball is Bob Farrell. 30 seconds left and they stop the clock. Talking about Mitchell being from Bucknell, one of the Falcon quarterbacks, Tim McQuilkin, is from Lehigh. And when he first came up as a rookie, one of his teammates from a small college asked him where he was from. He said, Lehigh. He says, Lehigh? He said, man, you come right up out of high school?
Oh, boy. No, it's not.
30 seconds left to go. The ball is fielded down at the 41-yard line. 30 seconds to go in the first half, and there's still no score on the board. Two quarterbacks went out today at Houston. Two of the better-known quarterbacks in the NFL. Bradshaw with a wrist injury, and Pastorini, the Oilers, with a suspected broken ankle, as Houston is in command of that game.
I always liked Pastorini because of his wife.
Movie star.
Movie star, June.
The 49ers are sending in a second tight end now, Paul Seal. There is Kenny Meyer, the offensive coordinator with the Rams in his first year as head coach of 49ers. We'll be going to New York at halftime for an update complete with highlight action of all the games around the NFL being played on this, the fourth weekend of the 1977 season. Brent Musburger, Phyllis George, and Irv Cross standing by. There's been some upsets, as there always are, as Jim Plunkett looks on. Whether or not he'll return is a moot point right now. He took a hard shot right on the ribs as he released the ball with what turned out to be a 23-yard completion. Scott Bull is back up in his second year from Arkansas, has been in there since.
It's interesting that they're keeping Plunkett out, though, because, we got a report from the bench saying that he is all right. So it's see what happens second half, too.
0-0 the score. Scott Bull looking to put it up long, and here comes Humphrey. And Bull released the ball just to get it away. His men were covered. Good defense afforded by the Falcons in the secondary. Kuykendall and Humphrey started to come at Bull, and he just released the ball. That leaves 26 seconds to play. So on this very lovely day in San Francisco, the 49ers with 26 seconds left, and they have less than a yard coming up on third down. They're lining up in a power formation. Two tight ends and a wingback. They're going with three tight ends now. Scott Bull takes it ahead, gets the first down,
and calls the timeout.
Or does he? Now finally at 19 seconds the clock is stopped. The 49ers still a long way from scoring position as the ball is at their 44-yard line, and Scott Bull is going to come over now to get some counsel from his coach Kenny Meyer.
Here's the time. This is where a veteran quarterback can move that ball. But the guy that I always remember that's the greatest because I played with him was If we ever had this kind of time left in a ball game, you knew somehow United was going to get down in there within at least field goal range to get some type of a score. He knew how to use his timeouts. He knew how to use the sideline. He was probably the best that I've ever seen.
What Kenny Meyer's saying to Bull right now is, how far can you throw it? 19 seconds, and they got, what, 66 yards to go.
That's
no score.
That's a long way to go, 66 yards.
Lehman Bennett, the coach of the Falcons, says his team really looks to be close into the fourth quarter. He said, that's where we think we can win it in the fourth quarter. We think we're conditioned well enough, and we're not going to make mistakes.
The thing that he's done has just been a great job, though. He's got this team turned around.
Motivated.
And as you said, what Tommy Nova said, and we were talking to him prior to the game today, is their attitude. And, you know, whenever you have that kind of an attitude where you go out there with a positive way of thinking, Don, you know, it's carried over, and the other team is thinking, hey, these guys really, you know what they're doing this year. And
there's something about Bennett. He certainly exudes a quiet confidence. You can see where he'd impart that to his players. He said he hopes to be a consistent coach in everything he does, because he said, we're going to be a consistent football team. It's got to come from the top. Took him a couple of weeks to convince some of these Falcons they are a team with a near future. Not a long way off. Now they're 2-1. As they're in a scoreless tie here, and Bull is going to put up the long ball. It is, Roland Lawrence had it right on his numbers. Landed right between the twos, but he lost it.
That's a bad place to hit somebody in the hands.
And he had another open channel there.
We got a flag on the play,
He's been in the end zone twice today, and it's come back twice.
He's got to be tired running back and forth.
The CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30, featuring the Jockey Club Gold Cup, a $300,000 thoroughbred race. The Chinichi Gymnastics Competition, featuring Nellie Kim and
77 offense.
Nadia Comaneci.
First down again.
77 on the offense. Gene Barrett, one of the tackles, is called. The CBS Sports Spectacular is next Saturday afternoon at 4:30 Eastern Time, and 13 seconds remain now in the first half here at San Francisco. No scores. First down and 20. Go to the run. Bob Farrell turns to the outside. I'll tell you, who is that? That Easterling will come up and run into a truck. Ray Easterling really comes up and hits.
He sure does. That was a great tackle. It was a great move by the back.
Yeah, he cut back, got some good yards. 1 second left. So there'll be one more play here in the first half.
Now, the thing that's really funny is that Atlanta called a timeout. And it's only a second down, and you can't do too much.
There's still 66 yards in the end zone. Farrell is the leading rusher for the 49ers. He's run the ball 8 times for 39 yards. He got 10 on that last carry. So Bull is back over talking to Kenny Meyer. The last time the 49ers got off to this bad a start, 0-3, was way back in 1962. When they ended up 2-12. Red Hickey started out as the coach that season, was replaced after the third game. Jack Christensen came in. Of course, there's been a lot of talk. The man they had here last year, Monty Clark, the former offensive coordinator at Miami, was in one season, then new ownership came in, and Monty Clark wanted full authority to run the football team. A new general manager, Joe Thomas, came in. So right now, Clark is here watching the game, being paid off on his contract, but Ken Meyer is the coach. At halftime, our complete update of all the action around the National Football League as we switch to New York, where Herb Cross, Phyllis George, and Brent Musburger are standing by at CBS Control. One play left in the first half here at Candlestick Park. 2 men running the fly patterns. A home run ball going for Gene Washington. And it's incomplete, allowed out. And the first half ends. That is the end of the first half, and still we have nothing on the board either way. The Atlanta Falcons nothing. The San Francisco 49ers nothing.
Cicely Tyson for Color Track by RCA.
My rose is red, my skin is dark brown, and my dress is bright orange. If these colors don't look right to you, you should know about Color Track from RCA. Getting the color right is what Color Track is all about. It actually adjusts the colors and locks them on track.
Before you see the color track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Ford means business in big trucks. And now Ford announces the CL9000, its new lightweight cabover. Compare the driver comfort of its spacious cab with optional cab air ride. Compare the efficiency of its lightweight, choice of engines, and aerodynamic design. Compare features like plug-in gauges designed to help minimize downtime. Ford CL9000. Compare it with any line hauler on the road today. Ford means business in big trucks.